everyone. Thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing.
This morning, 2 border police officers were moderately wounded in a stabbing attack in Jerusalem. The stabbing took place shortly after 4 a.m. at the Lions Gate near the Old City. The attacker entered a guard booth where the policeman had been stationed and attacked them with a butcher's knife. The attack was ended when at one point one of the officers was able to fatally shoot the terrorist. The assailant has been identified as Ibrahim Mahmoud Mata, a 25-year-old resident of East Jerusalem. Hours after the attack took place, police raided the suspect's home in Jabal Mukaber neighborhood and found a Hamas flag. The rash of knife and vehicular terror attacks, dubbed the Lone Wolf Intifada, started in October 2015 over fears that Israel had been planning to change the status quo in the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, an accusation that the state has vehemently denied. According to reports, the Palestinian Authority security forces used live fire, tear gas, and stun grenades to end a protest gathered in the Daheshi refugee camp outside Bethlehem in the West Bank last night. The rioters were throwing rocks and Molotov cocktails, according to the Palestinian media. The protesters were organizing against the legal charges brought against 6 Palestinian activists arrested by the PA last year and against alleged police brutality during a demonstration outside the magistrate's court in Ramallah earlier in the day. The 6 activists under legal proceedings were charged last year for possession of illegal weapons and planning attacks on Israel. One of the detained activists, Basel al-Araj, was even killed by Israeli defense forces earlier this month when they tried to arrest him. Al-Araj died during the ensuing shootout. Palestinian Ma'an News reports that 6 protesters were detained and 11 injured. A recent report by the Shin Bet security service has said that 5 Palestinians from a Hamas cell in the West Bank have been arrested. The Shin Bet said Sunday that the group is charged on suspicion of committing a number of terrorist acts. The alleged Hamas cell members come from the village of Bidu near Jerusalem. They are suspected of throwing firebombs, placing explosive devices, and shooting at the Haradal settlement near Jerusalem in 2015. These are just a few of the recent arrests made by the Israeli Shin Bet in recent months. 2 men from the northern West Bank and Hebron, respectively, were arrested for planning attacks in Israel in early February. In December alone, the Shin Bet claims to have arrested over 20 Hamas men planning suicide bombings or other attacks in Israel. In January, an IDF Central Command officer said hundreds of terrorist attacks have been averted in Judea and Samaria, despite the relative increase in number. It's been just 1 week since the Israeli Knesset passed legislation allowing the foreign ministry to ban anti-Israel or pro-BDS activists from entering the country, and it seems no time has gone to waste in choosing the first target. Hugh Lanning, the British former chairman of the pro-BDS Palestine Solidarity Campaign, has just been denied entry to Israel according to statements released by the Interior Ministry's Population and Immigration Authority and the Ministry of Public Security. Lanning will be stopped at the airport and returned to the UK later tonight. Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan said, quote, "Those who act against Israel must understand that the reality has changed. No sane country would grant entry to central pro-BDS figures who want to harm it and isolate it," end quote. Today on Purim, Israel's President Rivlin gave out traditional Purim mishloach manot, or gift baskets, to female combat soldiers at the Ofer checkpoint near Ramallah. The president was quoted as telling the combat soldiers stationed there that alongside every great male fighter is a wonderful female fighter. In the traditional Purim gift basket, there was a handwritten note from the president and his wife saying, quote, "To our heroic female soldiers, we love and embrace you for what you are. Thanks to what you are. Go forth with your strength and redeem Israel," end quote. Combat soldiers weren't the only ones to get a personalized message this Purim. On Sunday, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif accused Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of distorting history by repeatedly saying that modern Iran, like ancient Persia, is bent on annihilating the Jewish people. On Saturday, Zarif tweeted, quote, "To sell bigoted lies against a nation which has saved Jews 3 times, Netanyahu is resorting to fake history and falsifying Torah." He said this shortly after Netanyahu visited a synagogue and told children celebrating Purim that modern Iran is still trying to wipe out the Jews.
That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.